What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. It's been a really busy evening if you're trying to catch up. We had Philly 500 try and troll us because there's rumors out there that people believe that Amari Cooper could be a landing spot for the Eagles. And I think that that one's really pretty much, let's just stir some shit up, because right now, that's exactly what you're getting. You're not actually getting news that's being reported about things that are actually happening. What you're getting is just basically speculation, proposed trades, moves that should happen. None of these things are based on anything other than speculation and guesswork. How many times did we hear that Cooper Kupp, the Cowboys, Cooper Kupp is going, that the Cowboys could trade for Cooper Kupp? Didn't nobody trade for him? He finally signed with Seattle, right? We heard the Cowboys were linked to Austin Gentry. We got that rammed down our throats, that was going to be the pick and the guy that we're going to get. And I mean, we can just go over and over and over and over and over again. So we had that. We found out that the Cowboys will be getting actually a third compensatory pick. They'll get two, what looks like projections are 2 5s and a 6. Great news. That's an extra pick for us. We've got, of course, Micah Parsons, who seems to be a man on a mission, working his ass off, who could be the first $200 million non-quarterback player in the history of the NFL. It's sounding like the Cowboys are close to a 5-year, $40 million type deal, $41 million, somewhere in that neighborhood. At least that's what's being reported. It seems like if Micah Parsons is bothered by it, he's not showing it because he is busting his hump, getting ready for the season. And of course, we heard Brian Schottenheimer is, looking at the leadership role of basically Dak, CD, and Micah's lockers being close together, because that is basically your head guys that the players should be looking up to. We had that happen. What else did we have happen? Oh, here's what else we have happening. Allegedly, forget about Jerry Jones. Okay, I'm going to say here and right now, whenever you hear from this moment forward, whenever you hear Jerry Jones say something, please look at it with a side eye. Don't take it as legitimate, okay? You just can't. I don't want to say Jerry Jones is full of caca, but Jerry Jones is full of caca. So when Jerry Jones up there, we're going all in. When he's up there saying, we got 2 big trades that are in the works. Don't listen to Jerry Wayne Jones. Jerry Jones interviews are for entertainment purposes only. That's it. None of it's based in fact or anything like that. However, when Stephen Jones speaks, it's like E.F. Hutton, and everybody should listen. And supposedly, the Dallas Cowboys are really and truly not satisfied with the wide receiver room right now, and they are working diligently on a number 2 wide receiver. Now, here's the thing I'm going to say. How many times have we been laser focused and told about the guy that we want? You know what I'm saying? It's almost like thou protest too much. We got it all set in our head that it was going to be Austin Gentry because that's what everybody pushed. It's going to be Austin Gentry. Okay, all right. But then it all of a sudden went to Tack, right? McMillan, right? They got it sold on that. That's going to be the guy. Him or Matthew Golden. They had both of those guys. Those were the guys that the Cowboys are going to get. In the same way they had Cooper Kupp is the perfect player for the Cowboys. He's got a relationship with one of the coaches. He wants to come to the we always get locked in on those. and it always ends up being somebody else, right? So that's where they got us locked in on Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper might be the smoke and mirrors, where instead they're letting people know, well, we got Amari Cooper and all that. We don't really have to deal. I don't think it's going to be Amari Cooper. I think the Cowboys are going to swing for the fence. Now, I pointed out some things to us, to you guys, about as far as the money goes, okay? The Cowboys, I want you to understand, you take the totality of everything that the Cowboys have done this offseason. You know, getting Osa under contract. Remember when they told us that, oh my God, the Cowboys are in trouble. They've got 22 free agents that they have to get signed. We did that and more. We did all that and more. We even brought in a ringer and Dante Fowler, brought him back, right? We got Osa signed. We made 3 trades. We got a hot backup quarterback, apparently, right? We did all of those things, and we only spent about $25 million. Now, granted, a lot of people look and say, yeah, these guys are mid and below players. Okay, fine, I hear you. I hear what you're saying, but you signed a $20 million a year guy, right? You got a guy who had 10.5 sacks that you brought in from last year. You got a dynamic kick returner, the best in the NFL, re-signed. You brought in more offensive linemen that you could sink a ship with. You brought in, I believe, 3 linebackers. You brought in some defensive linemen, right? And you got on your Rolodex Stephon Gilmore at the drop of a hat. Okay? So the Cowboys did all of those moves for $25 million. But we're sitting here with 34 right now, with another 1.25 coming June 1st, just from Zach Martin going off of the regular roster to retirement. We got about another $12 million coming from Micah Parsons. That puts you in the neighborhood of about $47 million. You realize that we never got above $8 million last offseason until we got CeeDee Lamb's contract out the way. Bro, that's a lot of money. I pointed out that I really don't think that the Cowboys are going to use up all that money this offseason. Some of that will roll over to next year. I pointed out that Tyler Smith's $22 million cap number is already calculated for next year on his 5th-year option. Yeah. That you got a $30 million trigger with Dak. You got an $18 million trigger with CeeDee Lamb. You got an $8 million trigger with Terrence Steele. You got a $7 million trigger with Diggs. You got triggers galore. And if you get Micah Parsons done, you're going to have a trigger with his as well. So the Cowboys, and maybe you don't want to do Dak Prescott because he's getting old, but I get that. But the Cowboys could literally have $100 million of cap space plus next year. That's really a lot of money. And that this would be a good time for the Cowboys to swing for the fences. And I don't want to hear, whoa, man, well, we don't want to get one of these guys. They got a new contract. They got a lot of money. Now you put an extension on it. You rework the contract. You make it more team friendly. That's what other teams do. That's what the Eagles freaking do. And it's about time that we get into that whole thing. Now, here's a funny thing. Here's a funny thing that, you know, I got Momo who calls me on a regular basis. I missed your call earlier today, Momo, who has visions of grandeur now with the Eagles with the Commanders. Now, he believes that, you know, that the Commanders have arrived and it's only going up from here, that they're winning the division next year, that the Eagles are going to drop down to 3rd, and yada, yada. Okay, all right. I hear you. And I had a point of bringing up the Commander. I don't even remember what the point was. It's just, I need the Cowboys to really get in the game. Oh, I remember what the point was. Dak is starting his 10th year. Dak is starting his 10th year. Here's the crazy thing about Dak. In the 9 years that he's played, the Cowboys have not been one of those teams that have hit rock bottom. Only 2 of the last 9 years have the Dallas Cowboys had 7 or less victories. And both of those seasons, he missed at least half of them. Both of those seasons, which were 7 and 6 victories, he missed at least half of the seasons. Every single one of them, they were above 500. That's incredible when you think about it. My whole thing is, before Dak's career's over, I hope that he hasn't been Tony Romo's eyes. Although Tony Romo in 2007, damn, that was a stacked team. We had 13 Pro Bowlers. Damn. We had Terry Glenn, we had T.O., we had Alvin Harper, Marion Barber. I forgot the other running back that was in there. Damn. DeMarcus Ware, Jason Witten. Man. Jay Ratcliffe. Brady James. That's a team that should have been at the Super Bowl. I'd like to see Dak Prescott with a team like that. If the Cowboys, I'm going to say this. If the Cowboys go out there and they truly get a legitimate number 2 wide receiver, then Dak Prescott's got no excuses. Not with the pass rush that we're going to have on this team. And the potential of getting upgrades of Diggs and Overshown added to the mix in the middle of the season. That's extra firepower that you're going to get to go down the stretch. With a young backfield, with a CeeDee Lamb and another great receiver, and hopefully a Jake Ferguson who gets back to where he was, and a Schoonmaker that steps up, and a coach who has been great at running the football. I was going back and looking at some of the Jet years where he had Mark Sanchez for a quarterback. One year, I think Sanchez had 12 TDs and 20 interceptions. The amazing thing, though, was they were number 1 at running the football, and they had 2,700 yards. And even with that 12 and 20 interception ratio, now granted they had great defense because of Ryan as the head coach, they still won 9 games. They were still a playoff team. And so that's what gives me hope with this Dallas Cowboys team is we're going to be more balanced. And you get a quarterback like Dak, you get him a couple of weapons and a running game, bro, that's 2021. We were number 1 offense. Dak Prescott should have been an MVP winner that year. But we know how it goes when you're the Dallas Cowboys. So that's all I got for you, other than, we have a sports writer saying the Cowboys could be trading Diggs. I don't know how you trade somebody who's just had a microfracture surgery and is not going to pass the physical. Some of these stories that you get are just so much bullshit that it's just kind of crazy. It's just like, what's the craziest thing we can come up with today? Yeah, Diggs to Kansas City. Yeah, that's a good one. And it's like, bro, nobody's trading an injured player. Nobody's trading for an injured player and saying, We'll rehab and see if he can play with a $90 million contract. It's crazy. Anyway, good people, let me say from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And make sure you tell the people you love how much you love them, because you might not get the chance again. And I love you guys. And God willing, we'll all see each other tomorrow.